So this is our second turning points, and I am so excited that we are back to bring turning points, a periodic ritual which is celebrated during part of Shabbat services. During pandemic, it has been harder and harder to pay attention to the transitions in our lives that deserve to be honored. Turning Points provides a ritual to honor major moments in our lives, providing sacred space and place for milestones. And we know there are so many turning points in our lives. In the last year, we as a congregation have missed sharing our lives together, whether we're publishing a book or retiring, welcoming children, becoming a grandparent, to grieving a delayed bar mitzvah, to career changes, to grief. Our lives have continued on their holy journey, and this is hard and good. Turning Points honors the holiness of our life's journey. To celebrate Turning Points, we'll hear a story from a member, and we know that stories are powerful. They connect us to each other and inspire deep reflection. And so we'll have a chance to reflect not only on that story, but on our own, while Deb is sharing a special chosen song for the ritual. Which brings me to introducing our something very special that's going to happen during the ritual. During the song, which is, as you might remember from our last turning point, a piece of art. So Rabbi Ali, just for a moment, I'm going to spotlight you. So this is, you may remember if you were here, Rabbi Ali Fishman. Ali Fishman is a camp director. She is the director of Camp Newman in California and an artist. She's going to be illustrating our shared experience. And each ritual, she'll join us and illustrate live the experience of the story. We've received a grant for, I'm going to unspotlight you so you can get back to work. She'll join us and illustrate live the experience of this story. And we've received a grant for Rabbi Ali to join us 6 times. And after the 6th piece, after the 6th service, all of this art will be put together into one piece of art, which will be placed prominently at the synagogue, because missing our temple is a turning point as well. So I want to now introduce this Turning Points speaker, Shellie Nyer. So Shellie is our speaker this evening, and what I ask each person to do is to share their turning points. And you will hear from Shellie that she's had quite a year. But I am so grateful, Shellie, for you speaking this evening from the bottom of my heart. You bring so much to our suburban Temple-Kol community, and really you just bring so much to the Cleveland Jewish community and to I don't know, I could just go on. So I'm going to let you continue and share your turning point story. I'm going to remove my spotlight and let you go.
Shellie, you're muted.
Shellie, you're muted.
Okay, sorry about that. Thank you, Rabbi Van. I grew up hearing the phrase, Mensch tracht und Gott lacht. Man plans and God laughs. That seems to be the theme of this pandemic for so many of us. When the pandemic started, like many people, I thought it would be short-lived. There were many major milestones in my life coming up in 2020, and as my family knows, I am a planner. The first occasion was in May. My beloved Aunt Pearl was turning 100, and my whole family was planning to go to Chicago to celebrate our family icon, but the celebration was canceled. I was used to visiting Aunt Pearl every 3 months and thought I would visit soon, but that was not to be. I began calling her 2 to 3 times per week instead of weekly, and reflected how blessed I was that she could attend our grandson Rafi's bar mitzvah in October 2019. I look forward to visiting Aunt Pearl soon, now that she is allowed to have visitors at her assisted living residence. My family and friends made plans to celebrate my 70th birthday last September, but as the pandemic dragged on, I kept my expectations low. Our children and grandchildren were part of our quarantine pod, so I was happy just to celebrate with them. But this time, I, the ultimate planner, was outplanned. From a balloon delivery and outdoor lunch on my best friend's balcony to dinner with my family from one of my favorite restaurants, from amazing cards and meaningful gifts to a dinner my daughters Shauna and Dina planned with my best friend Susie and her daughter Lisa on Shauna's deck. A few days later, it was as good a birthday as any non-pandemic birthday. 2 months later, November 20th, 2020, was our 50th wedding anniversary. My husband, Mark, and I had hoped to go on a trip, but we realized that would have to be postponed. But again, the occasion exceeded expectations. There was a beautiful dinner from a restaurant provided by my brothers and our children. There were flowers and a beautiful table set with china and crystal, and a painting our grandchildren, Emily and Rafi, made to commemorate the occasion. Most of all, Mark and I felt blessed to reach this milestone. You see, we were the first. My father-in-law passed away 6 months before my in-laws would have celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. And my mother passed away a few months before my parents would have celebrated theirs. Mark's older sister lost her husband before they reached this milestone. And Mark has had some health problems over the years and was skeptical that he would live to reach this celebration of our golden anniversary. There was one more milestone that I didn't plan on celebrating during the pandemic. My retirement from Akron Children's Hospital after more than 31 years. I am a speech language pathologist. My special area of interest has been working with children with autism and their families. I had been working part-time, and for the past few years, the majority of my time was spent as part of the Autism Diagnostic Clinic team. The clinic was shut down for a few months, and when the clinic resumed, I was working 2 days a week only for this autism diagnostic team. In the fall of 2020, the psychologist who headed the team announced that she would be leaving in March 2021 for another opportunity in Baltimore, Maryland. Although I was the oldest in my department, I had not been planning to retire, but several factors dragged me kicking and screaming, and I decided to retire. My last day of work was to have been January 6th, 2021. Clinic was canceled the last 2 weeks of December. On the morning of December 31st, Mark and I went for a walk. It was dry out, but Mark noticed a patch of ice on the sidewalk and suggested that we move to the street. I remember reaching for his hand, and the next thing I remember, I was in the back of an ambulance on my way to Ahuja. I fell on the concrete and had a concussion and a cracked rib. I lost 8 minutes of memory. I was told that I needed to rest a lot, not in my DNA, and to limit my activity, also not in my DNA. My Zoom retirement celebration my department had planned had to be canceled. As I started to improve, I pushed boundaries and paid for it. I am much better, but my brain and balance are still not fully recovered, although I think I'm doing better than the rest of my family does. I have worked hard to slow down, again, not in my DNA, and not always feel that I should be doing something productive. The pandemic has put a hold on most of my retirement plans, but I should be able to start many of my planned activities in the fall. So I planned and God laughed, but I have tried to see the humor and blessing in these altered plans. Shabbat Shalom. my cheering section.
Shellie, you are an inspiration, and I'm not exactly sure how to respond to your beautiful story and sharing you you sharing yourself with us. I couldn't appreciate it more. And we know that each of us is different. Each of us is holy, and our journeys are too. And you sharing your holy journey with us allows us to know that many of our moments, all of our moments are important, and all of our moments have extraordinary impact. Thank you. In just a moment, we're going to listen to Deb with our anthem, which is called Life Walks by Todd Herzog. And if you have a
Life Shapes.
pardon?
It's Life Shapes.
Oh, I did that wrong. Life Shapes. Thank you.
Sure.
By Todd, I got the artist right at least, Todd Herzog. Please consider sharing in the chat if you have a turning point, a major transition this year. What is your turning point? And we're going to listen to Deb, and we're going to look at the art that Allie has created.
I've always been good at beginnings. Lines fading off into the distance. I love the sense of endless possibility. Yeah. Open skies and no resistance. But it's the choices we make that determine our life shapes, that tell us who we're gonna be. And it's the chances we take that define our direction, that separate the you from the me. Come on, let's celebrate the you and the me. Now the days move on just like the ones before. Trapped inside an empty box, always wanting more. I don't want to settle for mediocrity, no. But it's so hard to drag this dream into reality. But it's the choices we make that determine our life shapes, that tell us who we're gonna be. And it's the chances we take that define our direction, that separate the you from the me. Come Come on, let's celebrate the you and the me. Come on, let's be the people we were meant to be. When I come to the end, complete the circle. Look back upon the moments that made the journey. Will I close my eyes and enjoy it all again? Or will I have to wonder at what might have been? But it's the choices we make that determine our life shapes, that tell us who we're gonna be. And it's the chances we take that define our direction, that separate the you from the me. Come on, let's celebrate the you and the me. Come on, let's be the people we were meant to be.
Blessed are you, eternal God, who brings us to the goodness of this moment. We are grateful for the blessings and even for the struggles and for the losses too, for they remind us of our unique humanity. We are grateful for the support, for connection. May we continue to uplift and care for each other as we note these turning points. May the spirit of this community, the inspiration of story, the harmony of music, and the beauty of art bring increased fulfillment and goodness to our lives. Amen.
Amen.
And Rabbi Ali, would you mind if we could just take one pulled back view as we end our ritual? Thank you.